The house held a tense, unnatural quiet as she stood before me. She eased the robe from her shoulders with a deliberate, almost performative slowness, the silk trailing across her skin before slipping down to pool at her feet. Her body looked as it always had, toned, familiar, every contour I knew as well as my own reflection. Her gaze met mine, cool, precise. 24 years, she said, voice flat and brittle. I've been faithful all this time. But not tonight. He's coming. I don't care what you think. I'm going to be with him. Her words didn't set the room ablaze. They turned something inside me to ice. I did not yell. I did not beg. I moved deliberately to the safe, spun the combination, and lifted my magnum. The weight of the gun steadied me more effectively than fury ever could. I inhaled once and spoke softly, if he crosses our threshold, there will be no coming back. Memories passed through me, years of small sacrifices, the life we constructed brick by brick, mornings that became proof of something true. In an instant, it all felt dismissed. I had suspected her for some time, guarded messages, unexplained trips, that distant look whenever my hand reached for hers. She thought she'd hidden it well. But betrayal always leaves faint traces, little smoky smells that accumulate until they can no longer be ignored. Where others might have exploded, I chose ice. I resolved to be patient and exact. I mirrored her emails, backed up her messages, tracked the money, and stayed silent. I gathered names and faces. While she slept beside me, pleased with herself, I assembled a different arsenal: records, receipts, bank statements, photographs. Evidence that emotion could not erase. I prepared myself first. Assets were moved, accounts reorganized, legal protections tightened. I severed the entanglements she took for granted so that, when the moment came, the ground beneath her feet had already been altered. Her confidence was built on blind trust. I quietly removed the bricks. When he arrived, slick hair, cheap cologne, the swagger that usually masks insecurity, I greeted him with a calm that rattled him. The gun remained visible enough to keep the room silent, but the thing I slid across the table cut deeper than any bullet: a dossier. It contained photographs of them together, documents linking him to shady transactions, and records he would have preferred stayed hidden. The smirk left his face as he turned each page. He began to beg and bargain. He looked to her with desperate eyes. For the first time, she returned my gaze and saw fear where once there had been complacency. "You thought you could steal my life," I said, measured and cold. "Tonight you both lose it." I made one call to my attorney and another to the investigator I had hired months earlier. The plan unfolded exactly as I had prepared. Within hours, the law closed in on him. His bravado crumbled into frantic explanations. By dawn he was in custody. By afternoon, the divorce papers were served, exact, exhaustive, leaving little room to contest. Her world, which had been cushioned by my labor and loyalty, collapsed into a chain of irretrievable losses. Admiring friends drifted away. Suitors vanished when they learned what had occurred. She screamed and labeled me monstrous, but I only shook my head. I had been her husband for 24 years. She had ended the marriage the moment she chose someone else. I did not destroy her with violence. I dismantled the structures that kept her comfortable and let undeniable facts, cold, legal truth, do the work. Now I live in the stillness that follows. I am not petty in triumph, nor am I empty. There is a clarity that arrives after an ending, the recognition that the story has been altered and my pages are blank once more. She carries with her the weight of what she chose and what she lost, a burden heavier and more lasting than a single heated night. I could have razed everything in a fit of rage. Instead I followed another route: patience, preparation, and the slow, deliberate administration of consequence. In the end, I lost only what she had already given away.